I want to take a moment and dive in to a topic that I think will hopefully equip you in growing your business as we move forward. And what Ashley and I have come up and put together, we're kind of titling underneath the umbrella of the NeoLife success system. A system that, if followed systematically, will allow you to, in your prospecting, have greater success of turning prospects into club members and or promoters and or into leaders eventually. And so, the NeoLife success system is going to be a 4-step process that is going to take your prospect from hopefully interest to being incredibly inspired, being a part of this transformative community. So, as you can see here, the success system starts with initiate. When we're working to grow our business, the first and foremost activity in our business is to initiate conversations with new people. I mean, that is the business that we're in. It's sort of like, I love that the real estate's all about what, as Ashley mentioned, location, location, location. Our business is all about conversation, conversations, conversations. So the first step in this success system is to initiate and to start conversations with new people as often and as many as you possibly can. Learned early in this industry, if you talk to a few people, you got an opportunity, not guaranteed, to earn a few dollars. If you talk to a decent amount of people, you got an opportunity to earn a decent amount of income, right? If you talk to a lot of people, you increase your chances and opportunity to earn a significant income. And if you talk to no one, I can guarantee we're going to earn no income. So the first step of the success system is to initiate and start conversations with new people. And what I love about this is there's so many methods, right? Like, I mean, back in the day, right, we probably would send smoke signals to initiate a conversation with somebody, right? And then we kind of moved forward, and maybe it was you wrote someone a letter, and then then the telephone came, and we could call people, right? And then we could do, texting. We could meet people in person. Now we got social media. There's so many ways that you can initiate and start conversations in today's world. You can do that on the phone. You can do that through texting. You can do that through Messenger on social media platforms. You can do that face-to-face. But the goal is to initiate conversations with new people. And I will say this, the best way to initiate a conversation with someone is, I believe, face-to-face, belly button to belly button. Why? Because I believe this business moves on emotion, not on information. When I can get in front of somebody and they can see the excitement and the passion and the joy and the transformation that's taking part in my life because of these products and because of this opportunity and because of this community, that's totally different than me writing out a text to somebody. But I don't have the opportunity to be face-to-face, belly button to belly button, and initiating conversations with everyone. So then a Zoom meeting could take place, or a cell phone, but you kind of get the gist. And let me go back to this. If we can go back to the graphic over here on the big screens, here's the key. The only goal in the initiating a conversation with someone in a one-on-one setting, phone call, Zoom meeting, face-to-face, is to create curiosity. That first step of the success system, think about it this way. I want to be the preview to the movie of NeoLife. I want to show them just enough that they go, wow, I want to learn more about this. I don't want to, and this is tough because what happens, I know this, what happens is we get, especially me, I get really excited about what I love and what I believe in. Like, my wife calls me like the hype guy. Like, she's like, if you love something, you will tell everybody about it and you will rave and rave and rave. And so what will happen if we're not careful is we're going to dump too much information in the first step of the success system when we initiate and start conversations, and we go way beyond creating curiosity. It's like, man, you got your NeoLife guns out, and you got full barrels, and you get somebody who's willing to listen to you, and it's like 45 minutes, and we're shooting every bullet we got. I mean, we're talking about every product, every ingredient, every SAB member. Let me tell you about John Miller. Let me tell you about Dr. Susan Beck. Let me tell you about, I mean, we just go off, right? For like, and our prospects like tap out, like you're choking me out here, let me go, you know, because we're just dumping everything. So I just want to go back to like the first step of the success system when prospecting is to start a conversation that creates curiosity where they want to learn more. Your goal is to be a preview to the movie. And what's the best preview to the movie of NeoLife? Is powerful stories. Stories sell, facts tell. Arm yourself with your story and the stories of others. Because if I can share stories that are real and relevant to the person I'm talking to, that's going to be very, very powerful. So that's the first step of the success system, is to start conversations which create curiosity. And the best method of that is through sharing stories. And there's many platforms that you can do that on. Okay, second. So let's say we have started a conversation with someone and we didn't back up the dump truck and load everything on them, but we shared our story, maybe shared some stories of other people, and they're interested. The goal of that first step of the success system is just to get to the second step of the success system, which is we just want them to hear more. I want to create curiosity first, and I just want them to give me a chance to allow them to hear more. And where's the best method to hear more? I believe hearing more is best through third-party credibility. There's just something powerful when my friends, my family, my acquaintances get to hear from somebody else besides me saying virtually the same thing that I've been saying and validating everything that I've been telling them. So it's not just Stephen any longer. It's, oh no, let me introduce you to my friend Daniel. He's the one who introduced me, and I'm so excited that he's helping me. I'd love for you to get to hear his story as well, or however it may be. But the second part of the success system is to introduce. So we initiate conversations. Second part is to introduce the prospect who has an interest to third-party credibility. How does that take place? That could be in a three-way Zoom, which you and your leader and that prospect together, where that prospect is going to get to hear your leader's story and get to connect to someone else. And now they get to hear more about NeoLife. And they get to have somebody else validate. You get to have someone validate what you've been telling this individual. And it's another touch point. Remember what we've talked about? That most people don't say yes to NeoLife on the first exposure. It's, second, third, or fourth. This is another touch now. So they've heard my story. Maybe I shared a story of someone else. Now I'm introducing them to somebody else, a part of this community. They're hearing another story. They're hearing a little bit more information. I believe, in my experience, third-party credibility is the single most powerful form of prospecting there is. And that could be done in a phone call, the three of you on a call, three of you on a Zoom, and even in a three-way messenger can happen as well. Again, you do lose some of the power of communication when you're only on Messenger because they can't hear the emotion and see the passion and all of that. It's just words. But another part of third-party credibility could be introducing them to a video, right? You could share a video. Again, if I was going to rank the best, I would say if I could do a 2-on-1 meeting where I could be there face-to-face with my friend and my upline and the three of us are meeting face-to-face, that's the best. But if I don't have that chance, man, then I'd love for us to get on a Zoom. If I don't have that chance, then I'd love for us to get on a phone call. If I don't have that chance, well then let me at least get them in a group message. If I don't have that chance, let me at least get a video that they could see that gives more credibility to what we're doing and validates what I shared with them when I initiated the conversation. So, step one is we initiate and start conversations. Now here's the thing, this is kind of like a funnel in a way also. You have to start a ton of conversations because not all the conversations you have are all going to lead to you having the ability to introduce that person to third-party credibility, right? It's going to kind of whittle down. Of all the people you talk to, some will have the interest to be introduced to third-party credibility. Okay, then what do we do next? Okay, so we initiate conversations, we introduce third-party credibility, and hey, by the way, at this point, they may have already gotten started as a club member. They may have already gotten started as a promoter. but I'm still not done in the success system. And I'll tell you why as we move on here. You know what? And honestly, they may get started when I initiate the conversation. I may initiate the conversation and share my story, and they go, wow, that's incredible. Yeah, I want to get started on the breakfast solution that you just mentioned. But guess what? I'm still going to introduce them to third-party credibility because I want to raise their level of confidence in NeoLife and all that we have to offer and the community. So I'm not just going to stop when someone gets started. I'm still going to put them in the success system. So initiate, introduce. And then what I really would love to do is invite them to an event. Why is that? Social proof. There's something powerful when they see that there's more than me doing this, more than my sponsor doing this, and there's a group of people doing this. Social proof starts to come in and go, wow, this is a lot bigger than I maybe had thought. I thought this was a little Stevens thing that he did from the back of his car. I didn't realize there's a lot of people that are doing this. I'm not even kidding you. I did an event one time in Montana, and it was an in-home meeting where we were doing kind of an introduction to the company, sharing the products and the opportunity, and I met someone. I said, oh, I'm so glad you're here. Like, why are you here? And he's like, well, I just wanted to come see if y'all are weird. I'm like, well, thank you for being honest. Like, literally, he came to the event. He just wanted to check out the people. So the second step is we're going to invite to an event. What's the best event? Well, the best event to be would be an in-person live event where you gather people in your home and you have stories and you share a little information. Or maybe you gather people on a Zoom. Would be also awesome, especially if people aren't in your community. You gather people in a Zoom, right? And you give an overview of who we are and what we do and the solutions. They hear more stories and more testimonials. And they see more people doing this. So now they're seeing, wow, NeoLife is a little bit bigger than I thought. And again, this person may already be a club member, it may already be a promoter, but I still want to plug them into an event because I want them to see more, and I want them to feel more here, and I want them to have that social proof that this is a little bit bigger than just Stephen doing this. And then the peak is, even if someone comes to an event, I then want to move to, they need to be, I want to inspire them beyond their current level of belief and vision. And how's that? By getting them to a life-changing weekend somewhere. It could be a team retreat. It could be convention, something like this. Even if they may have started as a promoter after I just initiate the conversation. But I still want to introduce them to third-party credibility. I still want to invite them to an event for social proof. And I want them to be with us in an event like this or a team retreat or something where they are inspired beyond their current level of belief and vision. And they feel more. Like they cannot unfeel what they have felt being at a weekend or at an event like that. And that's the system that I have seen turn so many people from prospects to club members, from prospects to club members, then club members onto promoters, from prospects to club members and club members to promoters to leaders. And that's what we do. Initiate conversations. Start as many conversations as you possibly can with folks where you share your story, share the products, share the opportunity, share other people's stories that you've learned this weekend that are real and relevant to your prospect. If they have any interest, if you created the curiosity because you were the preview to the movie, we introduce them to third-party credibility. Introduce them to your leader. Let your leader be able to help you do this. I believe in order to be successful here, you have to have two things: your story and your leader's cell phone number. If you've got that, you've got more than enough. Because you know what the best thing to say to someone is? I don't know. That's a great question. But you know what I do know? My good friend Alan, he's been doing this a whole lot longer than I have. We're good friends. And he's the one who actually introduced me to this and has helped me so much. Hey, do you have about 10 minutes this evening at 6 o'clock? I'd love to introduce you to him, and we'll both be able to find out the answer to that question. So simple. You do not have to know everything. You don't have to know all the comp plan, all the ingredients. If you know your story, and it's real in you, and it's relevant to the person you're talking to, and maybe a couple other people's stories, and you know your leader's cell phone number, you know more than enough to be absolutely deadly at growing a huge organization. So initiate a ton of conversations. Introduce as many people as you can to third-party credibility. There's something powerful when people see and hear about NeoLife other than you. It starts to get bigger. It starts to get more real. And then everyone that you're initiating conversations with and you're introducing third-party credibility, invite to an event. Let them get somewhere where they can see more. They see more stories and more people doing this. And it becomes way bigger than maybe what they thought. And then ultimately, you want to inspire people have a belief and a vision beyond what they currently have. And that happens by being somewhere like this, a team retreat, where they're just immersed in the culture and the community for a few days. And then I believe people's lives are never the same. So through all of that, though, please know that it's not just always going to be simple. It's not always just going to, the fortune and the future of your business is going to be found in the follow-up. You're going to have to follow up with people all the way through the success system. Okay, so I hope that is helpful. We will dive in and do even further trainings on this, but if you get fantastic at initiating conversations, if you get excellent at introducing people to third-party credibility, if you master being able to invite people to an event where they get social proof and to see more, and then ultimately you have the ability to bring people to a place where they're going to be inspired beyond their current level of inspiration, I'm telling you, watch what's going to happen inside of your business. Follow the NeoLife success system. I have seen this literally build unbelievable businesses in this industry, and I believe that you can do this, and you can also duplicate this throughout your team.